I've said all I want. I think we should move on to the next topic. Would you like to start us off?
AI in gaming, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh.
That was the article from Reuters. I think it was Morgan Stanley's story who wrote this
Mm,
and says that AI could unlock around 22 billion in annual profits for the global gaming industry by cutting development costs. The big claim is that advanced AI tools could reduce game development costs by nearly 50% over time.
mhm.
The idea is not just AI makes games, it is more about AI reducing production costs across the development pipeline. Faster environment, world creation, AI assisted dialogue generation, faster software testing QA,
Mhm.
quicker asset iteration, more efficient live service content updates. What do you think?
Hear me out. Hear me out. Okay, hear me out. As long as AI is moderated by actual people, and we don't turn out, to have games full of AI slop, like absolute garbage.
Yeah.
I I don't think this is a very bad thing. Okay. Now you have, with this argument, you have like the quickest response. I'm pretty sure it's like, but millions and millions of devs around the industry are going to lose their job. And let's be honest, millions of people around every industry are going to lose their job because of AI. Okay? There's nothing I or George or anybody can do about that. Gaming
Yeah.
studios and publishers are corporations and they want to cut costs. If they have a way to cut costs in half, they are just going to do it. You cannot do anything about it. Yes, people are going to lose their jobs. We cannot do anything about it. I cannot do anything about it. So I think it's, of course, it's very, very sad that people are going to lose their jobs, but that's just the new day of AI, hitting the gaming industry. That's that's my opinion on it.
It could be used, to be honest with you, to boost creativity because there is a lot of like chores during development period that it
Mm-hmm.
could be, like writing a whole code, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have Claude to write some of the
Yeah,
code that you can write, and then you go back and then, you know, it did the 90% of the job, and then you're doing some troubleshooting and fixing stuff. So you could make some nice improvements on the game development, and obviously this thing it could help with the duration of development
mm-hmm.
because right now sometimes some durations are really ridiculous. Let's say
Yeah, yeah,
they spend like 7 and 8 years. Yeah, as a tool, I'm pretty sure that they will be very helpful and we'll see a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of good stuff
mm-hmm.
because you give this room of creativity back. When you don't have all these chores to do,
Yeah,
you can make a lot of stuff. I mean, you have like the free time to actually think what you want to create and become a little bit more creative. But the downside is when you actually want to save money, especially the 50%, they're talking about potential replacements. you know
yes,
that's where my concerns is. I mean, like, I don't have problem if you want to for experimentation, using generative AI to check like new projects, new designs, whatever, obviously, as you know as experimenting and not
yeah,
actually replacing the art direction with a gen AI, because
mm-hmm.
that's not good. Yeah, AI cannot make games, dude.
Yeah,
In my opinion, like, you need humans, you need a lot of humans in actually like to make a lovely video game. AI could be an amazing help, yeah, massive help in my opinion, but it cannot create the game,
yeah, absolutely not.
the feeling, all that.
Yes, I sure hope that AI is used as a tool and it's not used to replace people, like completely. But I don't know, with the rise of AI, and we see like an update on AI every 6 months, and it's like, three times better than the 6 months before that. I'm not sure. I'm very skeptical about it because I think many chores, as you say, many chores that people used to do now, AI is going to do. Yeah, but people used to do that, and now we don't need them. So bye bye.
Yeah,
Uh, but I think at least I hope that AI is used to cut costs and production time. Actually, production time will be amazing. Imagine like if let's say Rockstar, not that I want a a AI generated GTA, but if they could cut like production times from like 8 years to 4, that would
I mean,
be amazing. But
Take Two's already been confirmed that is one of the studios that they've been using it. So
uh,
far, the examples that we know is Tencent, Sony, Roblox, Take Two, EA, and Ubisoft. You know,
and these guys actually have like the most amount of benefit because they have a bigger player base, and they have more data, have more.
strong IPs, big
Yes, they have the
platforms. Yeah,
more engagement and stuff, so they have all these data to to feed to AI models. So these companies, the huge companies, are going to be actually benefited more than a small studio uh, from AI.
yeah. I don't know. Is it going to save the AAA AI? You know, is AI going to save AAA gaming, or just make publishers even more aggressive with cost cutting?
I'm not sure. I want, I want to think that AI is going to help these companies, produce faster and cheaper. As I said from the last
Yeah,
episode, if you watched it, I said that I don't want companies to spend millions, like hundreds of millions of dollars on games. Like they shouldn't do that because we saw in last year that there are real examples of games that can do wonders. That's what I said anyway
yeah,
in the last episode. They can do wonders with a fraction of the cost. So I don't want them to spend millions and millions of dollars on the games. Want them to cut a little bit of cost down, and
plus,
but I don't think I'm not sure if they're gonna use like AI correctly to
yeah,
do that, and I'm not
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
They talking about like these big studios, how they will get, you know, they're the biggest winners.
Mhm.
But in my opinion, even the small studios they can benefit a lot because these people they have the creativity. The last few years, as you mentioned it, and we mentioned it in the last video, the last few years, seeing these double A companies, they make tremendously good games. You know what I mean? So even Color Obscure had assistance by AI.
Mhm.
You know, and I think there was another like about the replacement that we were saying. I think there is another like example about Warhorse Studio replacing the translators with AI. So all the translators that they were working there now they been fired and they got the AI replace them. You know,
I
one
mean,
of the examples.
are we really surprised? Yeah, as I said before in this episode, actually, AI is going to replace jobs. It's going to take away jobs from humans.
Yeah,
I mean, you can, I'm don't want to curse, but uh, you can be angry about it. You can be vocal about it, but
yeah,
it's not going to change. Sadly, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's a good thing. Sadly, that's the reality that we live in right now. AI is going to replace your job sometime in the future.
Yeah,
very sadly.
especially if it's a white collar job, 100%. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, white
sad.
collar jobs are
Yeah,
in danger at the moment.
it's sad, but yeah, in my opinion, even without AI, they need to they need to do something about this stuff, because AAA companies, they seem that they have way too much stuff, and that's why they're cutting a lot, in my opinion. Since COVID, that they couldn't hit the deadlines, they
Hmm.
overhire people.
Yeah,
And then since then we had like massive layoffs across the industry. So that's what I'm thinking that it is. I
it's
mean,
a
it just
it's a combination that they overhired in the first place, and now you also have AI, and you can cut a lot more people than you could before, because
yeah,
they overhired during COVID, so they could meet all these deadlines or whatever, because people were not allowed to work in offices and they couldn't go out in public spaces. They overhired, people to work from home or any other way they could, actually. They were very desperate at the time, but now that AI has popped up, you know they're like, okay, we should fire some people that we overhired but back during COVID, and replace their job with the AI. Again, it's very sad. Again, want to make this clear. I don't want
yeah,
people to think that I'm all for AI. I very much dislike AI, but it's the reality that we live in. I think we need to be real and true to ourselves,
yeah.
uh, to make the conversations that we have, and to move on, as people, not just the two of us, everybody, right? We
Yeah.
need to be true to ourselves to face reality. The reality is that AI is probably going to replace your job in the future.
It definitely needs some regulation, as I said so many times. Like you cannot like let all these big executives, big like CEOs replacing stuff like that. You need to actually put a veto or whatever. Just you need to actually make some regulations because I don't know. Yeah, we're going for full replacement, 100%. But in video game industry, one thing that is more reality is that the majority of the community, the only thing that they care about is a good product, Michael.
Mhm.
Honestly, I know it's sad that because they don't care about like people losing jobs, but the most of the people, they just want to pick a game and have an escapism, have
Mhm.
like a nice time of entertainment. And they don't care who's making it, how many people they were working on the product on the product. You know, they don't care about that. The
Yeah.
only thing that they care is like it's sad, yeah, again, but that's how is the reality. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
why
most of gamers, don't really talk about who made that game, and how much was the budget of the game, of production. Most people, let's be honest, most people don't care about that. They just
not
want to
even
play the
watching
game.
social medias and reviews and stuff. They just
Yeah, yeah,
find
yeah,
a nice game and they just like gonna buy it and play it. You know what I mean?
yeah. Hmm.
But that's what I'm saying. Is like it's sad, but these people, they're I guess that they're really like busy with their lives to spend so much time to learn about the backstories and
Yeah,
you know
yeah, yeah. It's definitely like that. But I think, in the next two, I would say 2 or 3 years, AI is going to be, as far as producing media, video games and music and
yeah,
all of that stuff. It's going to be indistinguishable uh, from man-made works. I
yeah.
think if you play a game made by AI, like completely from AI, not like a AAA title, but like, let's say, like an indie title, you won't be able to tell in the future that it will be made from AI, and that's very sad. Again.
Obviously we wouldn't be able to tell, but Call me romantic, call me fool. I'm gonna accept everything. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But I don't think AI can create games.
Okay.
Correction, good games.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't say they're going to be good. I just said that, it's going to be indistinguishable from a man-made game. That's my take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully will help. It will help in a lot of like boring parts of development, and hopefully if we'll stay like that, we'll see more creativity comes, especially from the big studios that we mentioned earlier, because these people, they think that I feel that they lack a little bit of creativity, and that's why they cannot deliver very good products in the last like few years. So hopefully they will give, because they will get some money, they will save some money, they will save some development time. Hopefully they will have the free time to experiment and make and bring the creativity back. You know what I mean?
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah. We sure do hope a lot around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.